Welcome back, Raider fans. As I mentioned, we went to break. We are now visiting with head coach Jack Byerley of our softball program. Coach Byerley has done a fabulous job with the Raiders. He's in his 5th season. Matter of fact, this gentleman right here has accumulated 155 wins to just 47 losses, 2 Panhandle Conference championships in 4 years, and took us to the postseason every year. And certainly off to another great start this season. Coach Byerley, thank you very much for joining us.
Appreciate that. Was that about me, or was that?
You didn't realize you accomplished that many stuff, huh?
That's all about that team, those teams we've had that have
Yeah.
put in all those great seasons and done all that great work.
Yeah.
Very proud of them.
Well, Coach, as I just kind of rattled off all your accomplishments, when you inherited the program, it certainly needed a little bit of rebuilding, and you did that in a very short period of time. You actually won the conference championship in your first season. Here we are in year 5, but certainly you've really put the program on the map. How have you really been able to put your stamp on the program?
Well, everybody will tell you that that starts at the very top with leadership. Mm-hmm. And, I came in under 2 administrators that were willing to do anything and everything for me, under Mickey England and yourself. And you made it possible. We have the stadium that was remodeled. I had free reins to go to recruit wherever I needed to go recruiting, and to get the kids that we needed and to push the envelope. And these kids have come in, now they've come in and learned that, hey, this is what this program's all about. But yeah, it started with you guys. You guys, made it happen for us. We have one of the best facilities in the country, and that's why we can get the kids that we can get now, and that's why we can make the demands that we make for our kids. And it's very exciting. I mean,
Sure.
it's great when you go to other places and you see that, hey, this is ours. Is this, ours is this, and but no, it goes back to you and Mickey, what you've done for us.
Well, thank you for saying that, but you mentioned the facilities. First of all, the facilities, you've had a lot of experience coaching at Division I level in the SEC, and when you took the job and we were in the middle of the remodel and when we finished, you said something to me that kind of surprised me a little bit, and a pleasant surprise. You mentioned that our facility is comparable to a lot of Division I facilities. Oh,
most definitely. The only, when we have a recruiting, I tell them the only difference between our facility and Division I is the stadium. We don't have the stadium. If we had bleachers from one side of the dugout, the other side, we would be just as good as Auburn, would be just as good, not as Alabama, because they have that big green roof, or LSU, because they have that monstrosity of a stadium. But I mean, our playing surface, our dugouts, our wall, all those things are just as good as most D1s, and some D1s are kind of jealous when they come recruiting. They're like, oh, wow, Jack, this is fantastic. Your office is right here, your cages are right here, everything.
Well, and I got to compliment you on that. You do a tremendous job of upkeeping, and it's a lot of work. And I know not only do we appreciate it, but our physical plant, our maintenance crew really appreciates it, so you do a fabulous job with that.
Thank you.
Also, I want to mention, a couple things that you always emphasize in your program are hustle and playing the right way. What exactly do you mean by those two things?
Well, 70% of the women CEOs in the country have played in a Division I program, or in some sort of Division I program, college. And so they know that hustle, hard work is going to be good for them. So that's what we tell our young ladies. Hey, if you learn how to work hard and if you learn how to hustle, when you leave us, you're going to be prepared. And I think that was one of our mission statements, is to leave a better person.
Sure.
And that's what we hope we do with these youngsters. We teach them that sometimes you have to work harder than the other folks, and sometimes that work comes when nobody else is watching, when there's not fans in the bleachers. When you are digging that trench out there, you are taking care of the bullpens, whatever it might be. So that's where that hustle comes in. And when it comes game time to play, they're used to diving. They're used to the hard work. They're not worried about running into a fence because they've done it in practice. So.
Well, and I got to say, from my perspective, this season, and you, I think, have gotten as much satisfaction of coaching this group than you have in a long time. This group really seems to be giving it 100% each and every time out there. You have a young group, which we'll talk about in a minute, but you really seem to be kind of, I guess, re-energized about coaching a team like this, because that seems like they really absorb everything you talk about.
That was a good word, absorb. They're sponges. They, every day, last night we even had situations where they were still learning from, and they wanted to learn. It wasn't like they would roll your eyes and walk to the other end of the dugout. It was like, okay, that's good. And that's what makes it fun.
Sure.
Is still being able to teach and still being able to make a difference in the game. And so, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And these guys are a crack up. I mean, young kids, just do such funny things anyways. And so, they're still doing that. Even in our loss last night, they still had a little bit of a sense of humor. But after a while, I had to tell them, hey, you did lose, guys. I don't hear another word on the bus. That kind of thing. But, they know how to take the loss. They know that it means a lot to them. But they are still very young, and we're going to have those kind of games, and we'll continue to grow.
Well, and probably one of the most underrated aspects, but probably one of the most important aspects about women's teams, specifically softball, is team chemistry. And I think last year you had some issues there, but were able to overcome them and still have a very successful season. This year, however, your chemistry seems to be tremendous.
That starts with the sophomores. Michelle Phelps, Letitia Matsuwaka, Lena Land, and Jess Culliver are kids that are reachable for the freshmen.
Sure.
They don't ever close themselves off. Are kids that are going to not necessarily be leaders. They are in a way, but they understand. The freshmen feel like they have to be part of it, and you're not better than me kind of situation. And so that kind of molded the team a little bit better. And they've done a very nice job with that. But the chemistry has been super. We've done some amazing things with these youngsters. As far as carrying big ditch covers around as a team, and eliminating pitchers and catchers and letting the infield carry it. And they're like, okay, see, now everybody relies on everybody. So it has to be as a team. And so they've learned a lot, and they've had a lot of fun. And our Christmas party was a lot of fun because they definitely developed some team chemistry there.
Well, and we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but this probably is your youngest team that you've ever had, I would have to say. And but you have a talented group of freshmen. Talk about how you've been able to bring them along in such a short period of time.
Yeah, we threw them in the fire pretty quick with all those D1 schools. And but the freshmen that we have had some experience during the summer ball, AAU ball, and we didn't play as many D1 teams this past fall as we typically do because we knew that we had to bring them along slower. We brought a lot of other schools in that during the first part of the spring that may not be as high as a level as others because we knew they had to grow. Now that we're starting to get into the tough part of the schedule, we had a great tournament, the Jimmy Stewart tournament. We had some super teams there, so the competition picked up a little bit, starting to feel more like conference play. And so they're starting to grow a little bit there. But the key to it is that we've got to put a lot of pressure on them so that they know what it feels like in a conference, but then also relieve that pressure and let them know, hey, look, it's okay. You're learning. Take the pacifier out of your mouth for a little bit and let's get it going here.
Absolutely. Well, one of the biggest features about this team that I know has to have you excited is the plenty of options you have in pitching. In years past, I believe you've only had one or two reliable arms that you could go to, especially when we get to conference season. And as a reminder for the folks at home, you're playing double headers. You always play double headers.
Correct.
You play 2 games back to back. And so having pitching depth has been very important. I know it was a big point of emphasis to you in the offseason as far as recruiting, and you've seemed to find that this year.
We were very fortunate that we were able to get some pitchers in recruiting. And, having 5 is fantastic. Our first year we had 6, if you remember.
Yes, right.
And it was nice to have 6 in the bullpen. But like last night, in the first game we used 3. In the second game, we only used 1. So we used 4 pitchers last night, and we had 2 left over. So, we could have continued to use them if we need them. So it's a good situation to have, without a doubt. And they're all different. I mean, Jess Culliver is a finesse hard thrower. Chandra McCampbell is a hard thrower that's a very young pitcher. Maud McCrory is a hard thrower that's learning to spin the ball and is learning drop ball, a new drop ball and everything. And you have Haley Goodson, just a good old country girl that just likes to throw the ball, you know. And then you have Phelps, who came back from last year, and she just spins it. It might be 30 miles an hour, but she's spinning it. So they each complement each other. And, when one comes into the game for the other one, they do their job. And, hey, I got your back. Don't worry about it. But it's nice to be able to throw another one out there, Now I'm going to learn how, I got to make a decision when.
Exactly. And, that's one of the things that you look for. And I think that's going to really help you in a tournament setting when you're playing back-to-back days and things of that nature, having the depth. Because I think in the past when we've been in the state tournament, we may have had to throw a pitcher on multiple days in a row or something like that. So now you have a lot of options, which is, I know you're excited about.
Yeah, very excited. You know, we even come in with a closer.
Yeah.
I came in with a closer last night. Maud McCrory came in, pitched the last 2 innings, got a save.
Sure.
Very rare in softball.
Absolutely. Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the 2 local products that we have here in the Phillips twins, both Jamie and Jen. They seem to really be outstanding student athletes and represent our college the right way. I know you've been very excited about their development. Oh,
super. Jamie probably had one of her worst games last night, but Jen had it. You know, I guess they're twins, but they sometimes are opposites.
Yeah.
One will have a good game, one will have bad, but they did a great job. And you know what? They're quiet and they just get the job done.
Yeah.
You know, they hit the ball hard, they play hard, they're always getting their uniforms dirty.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's great to have youngsters from the community that are just dedicated to playing softball, not worried about anything else except getting their education and being ready to move on.
And they seem to have a lot of pride in the program too.
Yeah, they have bought into Northwest Florida State tradition without a doubt.
That makes a big difference. Now, just really recapping real quick, you've had a very successful non-conference season. You've beaten a lot of good teams and scheduled very tough. And now I think we sit with one of the best records in the state. We're currently ranked in the middle of the top 10 in the state poll, so we're on the rise, peaking probably at the right time because conference season is right around the corner.
Right. You know, we open up against Gulf Coast at home on the 20th. The conference is the same as it always is.
Yeah, sure.
You know, it's you know, you can talk about PJC or PSC.
Yeah.
So the initials are there somewhere, but it's Pensacola, and they're just like any Penna team, be it basketball Penna or softball Penna.
Yeah.
They're hard nosed and they get after it. Then you come in with Tallahassee. Tallahassee's struggling just a little bit because they don't have the pitching they've had in the past, but they are knocking the cover off the ball.
Yeah.
Then you can come in there with Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast is ranked above us, and they are knocking the cover off. They have a new pitcher that's doing a great job. And then finally Chipola. You know, Chipola's going to be Chipola. They're going to be hard-nosed. They're going to get after it. They're going to throw dirt on top of you. They're going to talk about you. They're going to do everything they can to beat you. And that's why they're winners. They get after it.
Absolutely. Well, again, for those fans out there, I strongly encourage you to come out and watch softball, especially when we get in the conference play. The intensity is tremendous. And with everything being so close, you know, obviously the bases are closer than they are in baseball. It's a very fast action game. There's not a lot of sitting around and things like that. It's a very exciting brand of entertainment and sport, and so I strongly encourage you to come out and see it. Coach Byerley, thank you very much for coming out and visiting with us tonight. I wish you the best of luck this season. We're looking forward to great things.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That wraps up our edition of the Raider Sports Beat. You can check out all the schedules online at nwfraiders.org. We thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at the games.
Northwest Florida State College presents Outlook, a public service presentation of the college and Cox Communications, focusing on the events, activities, and instructional programs of Northwest Florida State College.